The newest Xbox had just been revealed, and I was keeping my hopes up and I was keeping my mind open because I'm usually all for like PlayStation, but for this I kept my mind open and I was saying like, if the PS4 did that, I would definitely want to see what Xbox is coming up with now. So the press conference just happened for the Xbox One, and I have to say that I'm not disappointed whatsoever. But the thing is, I'm not exactly excited about much until E3 comes around in 19 days. Let me give you a brief overview of what this entire conference was mainly about. The system, sports, TV, sports, more TV, sports, and Call of Duty. It says if you're a person out there who loves sports and this system is for you, they're making that really clear with this conference. They were showing a lot of stuff about EA Sports, and it was mainly EA Sports, not EA as a whole, but just EA Sports. They're showing a lot of in-depth things about what games they're gonna create, you know, all the usual games that they usually create pretty much every fucking year, you know, Madden, FIFA, all that other good shit, you know, just those games. And they brought in some TV aspects, and they told you how you could bring all of this sports stuff, you know, like sports channels, ESPN, sort of stuff like that, and bring it to life on your Xbox One. And because I'm a person who doesn't really care that much about the entire sports game side of pretty much anything, just like a lot of people don't care about the sports game side of pretty much everything, I won't go too deep into this. All I have to say is that they focused a lot on sports in this conference. It wasn't that interesting, to be honest, and it was just, you know, just the normal stuff. I mean, they showed off games from EA Sports, and they said, we're trying to blur the line between the game and real life, and they didn't really do that because they showed off a little bit of, you know, a trailer of some of the sports games that they have, and it looked a lot, you know, like CG from, I don't know, early Xbox 360 days, like early. Not like later, I mean early. So they didn't really show anything that was really expansive and really mind-blowing with any of the graphics with any games that they showed. And mind you, they didn't really show that many games. They legit showed about 3 games, one of which we already knew about, which was Call of Duty Ghosts, and two of their, I think they're exclusives. Forza 5, which obviously people would expect that from them. Another game called Quantum Break, which was, it had a really weird trailer for it. It was like, half of it was like live action, like real people, and I didn't really understand it. There was like this little girl and just like have powers or some shit, and then you see like this animation, like a video game of a fucking boat about to pass under a bridge, and then like, I don't know, like teleports like right in front of the bridge before the bridge can like, you know, open up or whatever, and just like crash into the bridge, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on? I don't really understand this. And that was pretty much the entire trailer for that. But besides all that, I think I covered most of the video game stuff, which is pretty damn sad. Time to get on to the other stuff, like the hardware and the TV aspects of the system. So the main thing that they wanted to focus on in this is like, you and your TV are now going to have a relationship. I have no idea why. That was one of their main goals, one of their main focuses for this thing. They were trying to make you and your TV have a relationship and bring it all together with Xbox One. Then again, I have to say, Xbox One was a weird name, because how do you go from 360 to 1? That just doesn't... And it's going to be weird for people to say, you know, you have an Xbox One, yeah, the first Xbox? No, the new Xbox. What Xbox? Xbox One. It's really confusing. All in all, the name of the system is really solid, and it's a lot easier to say than Xbox Infinity, that's for sure. So the new controller is pretty much the same thing. Xbox doesn't really change much about their controllers ever with the Xbox One and the Xbox 360. They didn't change much about it. What they did add is, apparently the D-pad is a lot more responsive. I think they got a new D-pad, and the trigger buttons are a lot more responsive. And the bigger thing about it is that now you don't have to buy battery packs or buy new batteries to put into the controller, because it's rechargeable. It has an internal battery, which is kind of revolutionary, you know, because that's what people don't usually do ever have rechargeable things. Just saying. The system itself and the Kinect are new, but they are very uninteresting. There's not much to say about them. Pretty much what the new Xbox looks like is just a box. A black box, and that's pretty much it. It's just that. It's just a regular black box. It doesn't have that many contours or curves to it. It's just a box, you know, it's a fucking box. And the Kinect is pretty much the same way. So they were going for a simple design, and I can definitely see, you know, they don't need a lot of those curves and all those different things that make the system look good, as long as the system itself has a lot of good content to go along with it. It doesn't need a lot of that extra bullshit that just makes things more complicated when you're putting up your systems, like especially with like a PS3 and trying to set that up with like all your other game systems. It's like you can't put anything over top of a PS3 because it's like it curves, so it's like really awkward to do that. So essentially it looks like a cable box, and that is the main purpose of it. You can watch TV on your new Xbox One, and in addition to that, you can watch movies and play video games and go on the internet. And why is that so special? You can now have one thing, like you can play a video game and have it like right here, and then you can have like Internet Explorer, like anybody uses that, over here, and like you can do both at the same time. You can watch a movie and like surf the web at the same time. It's like multitasking, and that's really good. And you add a new Kinect sort of like gestures, hand gestures, to make it a lot easier. Like you can just grab it and just like that, and it'll bring you back to the home screen, and like whatever you were doing is like still in like the home screen in like a small little box right there, so you can see it. And that's basically the system, I have to say. But what's inside the system is a little bit more different. There is a 500 gigabyte hard drive, and that is really just fantastic. I'm guessing that hard drive is going to boost up the price a little bit. They might have different models with lower space on it, but 500 gigabyte hard drive was one of the things they said was going to come with it, and that's really good as long as it's internal, because that entire external hard drive thing with the Xbox 360 was a little bit annoying, to be honest. And then again, it was kind of good because you can like bring all your stuff to a friend's house without having to bring your entire system. And a new feature that they added was a Blu-ray drive. So it's not like I can say that, oh, it's about damn time you added a Blu-ray drive, because, you know, they didn't really need to have a Blu-ray drive in the 360, but it's nice that they added it into the Xbox One, so now you can watch your Blu-ray movies on your Xbox One, and that is really good. I'm not really sure if they're going to use Blu-ray discs for the games, but I'm guessing they would do that. It would make a lot more sense, and Blu-ray discs are a lot better because they don't scratch as easily, that's for sure. Another big feature is that they integrated Skype with this, so now you can use Skype on a video game system for the first time ever, and that's great. Why can't it not work on any other system? Because the Wii U, it could work. They do have like a sort of thing with the controller gamepad, but it's not Skype, so who cares? And the PS3, I'm not really sure about the 4 right now, because I'm not really sure what kind of like camera peripheral they have. The PS3, the camera sucks dick. I'm so sorry, but it does. It's just terrible. So it's really nice that they added in Skype. That is a really nice feature. You can just talk to people on Skype, even if they don't have an Xbox One. You can talk to them just on a regular laptop or a tablet or a smartphone or whatever, and that is just the one big thing about it that is just amazing to me. And last but not least, for all of you people out there who do play Xbox Live, they are now going to have 300,000 servers for Xbox Live. And what that means is essentially they're going to have this entire cloud storage thing, and then they're going to integrate it with each system, so you're able to store different things on the cloud, and I think you're able to transfer them throughout devices, maybe throughout even different systems, through the cloud, and it's going to make online a lot better, because, you know, more servers equals a lot better everything online, obviously. And that's basically it about the conference. That is all that we have gotten to see so far. So what I'm disappointed about is I didn't get to see a lot of games. I mean, that's like the biggest thing about these conferences. That's what you want to see within the conference. So I'm really disappointed that we didn't see any new games. They announced that there are going to be 15 exclusives. 15 exclusives for the system coming out within a year of its release. That was something exciting, except they didn't really have any games to go along with that. So another thing I forgot to talk to you guys about was the Halo TV series that they just announced, and that's kind of like one of the reasons that people were saying this is mainly about TV, because people thought as soon as they announced it, like, holy shit, it's gonna be Halo 5 and Halo the TV series, and that's why this is mainly focused on TV, and it's kind of disappointing. So they really want us to wait for E3. It's 19 days away. They really just want us to wait until then to show what they have to offer. This was their time to shine, in my opinion. It's kind of like the time before this big storm of games and exclusives and shit like that. So now they have to show off all that they have to offer within that one day. They have about maybe 2 or 3 hours to do so, and they have to compete against both Sony and I think Nintendo, and they are going to have to do all of that within like those 3 or 4 days, and it's just really like a bumblefuck. So I just wish that they would have showed their games now, so later on they can just be like, you know, remember those games that we talked about before, that we actually had names for, and we actually showed you titles? Well, we're going to go deeper into depth about those games now that it's E3. But the good thing about this was that we finally got to see the system. They got that head start before all the E3 stuff. They got the conference out of the way. It was really, really interesting to see what they were doing. They got rid of the minor parts, I would say. So now that that E3 is coming up, you know, they don't have to focus all their E3 time on all this other stuff. Now that it's out in the open, they can focus on the gaming aspect, and that's the positive side about this, that they got all that other stuff out of the way, and now they can focus on the games at E3. So if you guys didn't see the conference, go check that shit out online, because I believe that there are still some websites that have the video footage of everything, maybe even here on YouTube. And if you did see the conference, then tell me down below what you think about it, and also if it will beat out PS4. So at this point in time, PS4 or Xbox One, which one? So for now, this is me, NextLevelOtaku, saying stay gold, and I'll see you guys later.